Hello, my name is Colette Mkagatera. I am from cohort 2021A and I've been taking Bachelor's of Arts in Communications with a concentration in business. Um, I have like cities when it comes to hobbies. My first hobby is writing. I write stories and poems. Most of the times, I stretch to articles where I feel like the urge to research and learn more new things leads me to sharing it. Um, After graduation, I'm planning on taking new hobbies. That would be boxing, swimming, and maybe hiking or traveling. Getting to why we are here today, I just want to reflect a little bit on my learning journey, especially taking the BA, taking taking the BA program. Um, I'll start with the competencies that were more challenging to me. Um, to be honest, project management for comms was quite challenging, and it was because it had like way too many deliverables for one project. We had to work on five deliverables for one project. Sometimes it didn't like make sense, and the other time it felt like I had this fear of saying that what if I'm working on this document and it is going to contradict what I said in another document, yet submitting all of those documents for one project. From that angle, it was challenging, and the capacity to assume that you've worked with different teams on that project and you also go to execute. Imagine the risks, imagine the challenges that attached to that project execution. It was a little bit hard, but it was doable. The other project that was challenging, it was principles of accounting. Being honest, I didn't have any background in accounting, so it was hard for me. On a point, I didn't even know to differentiate the accounts, like the assets account and liabilities account. But and in the start I didn't really understand like the principles, like what does this mean and why is it applied. It was also quite challenging. Moving forward, I also faced challenges while working on financial statements. I received quite not yet on this project, and I feel like it was because I felt like while doing the financial statements, like the income statement or equity statement, all you just have to do is to just deflect. And what happened, my case was that I had to like elaborate on everything, and I wasn't aware the way I should be doing that. It was also challenging, but I learned a lot. I learned like a lot. For the projects that were like more easy or more accommodating, um, develop personal brand. This is because this project I had to like develop my actual personal brand. It was easy to talk about things that I like to do. It was easy to figure out what I want to be represented as. And the other project is comms regulation and policy. As a person who was taking comms as a major, I got to learn a lot about the regulations that applies to comms as a field, also the regulations that are in place, um, and the things that like the First Amendment consists of, like the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, those kind of things. And I feel like moving forward, they will be helpful for my career in communications. The other project was stories and com goals. At first, I felt like I won't be able to do this project, but in the end, or like when I interacted with the project, like fully giving it my time, I came to learn that this project wasn't like challenging as I thought it was. It just needed more attention. With this project, I was able to understand why writers tell the stories the way they do, even through visuals, because we had one video that was entitled A Love Story, and in that video a person planned to shoot people, and they showed like little steps that would help us to recognize things like that from the behaviors and from the kind of media that people interact with. Well, for the projects that align with my major, that I think that I've internalized as much as it needed to be internalized, that is the elements of US legal systems. I feel like this project I've done a lot of research and also think about things by attaching myself to the real world. This is because this project showed us, they gave us a scenario of people who own an online business and also work with a manufacturing company to do some products and sell it to the audience, and there was some product reliability that was damaged in the process. I got to learn how and who is responsible when it comes to the product reliability negligence, when it comes to who set those and who design product and who distributes the product. I felt like that in the outside real world, that is so important for people to know who is reliable for this kind of action and who will be held accountable if something happens. With the principles of accounting, of course, yes, I've said that it was one of the challenging projects that I've worked on, but I got also to internalize the information I got to learn from this project, because as for now I know different principles of accounting, given accrual, given expense recognition, given revenue recognition, and I know why it is important to record as early as the occurrence of the transaction. And I also know that the need to separate personal expenses from the business's expenses. that that actually gives me a hope that if I get to like start my own business or set up a firm, I can be able to manage the finances without having problems. Moving on, there are some tips or strategies that I've applied while working on the program. That is asking for help. It is always important to ask for help from their colleagues, from also the advisors. Because you get to learn, you get to actually vet the problem that you're facing and get information from other people's perspectives. there is also allocating enough time to the projects, and I feel like this also applies to other things that needs attention that we do in our lives. I feel like allocating enough time helps you to really understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how to do it accurately. um Here I've written doing before or not waiting. The thing is, the more we procrastinate or postpone things, the more it gets harder and harder, and it still becomes a lot of work in the end. I feel like for the students who are still in the program, they can schedule themselves or work on a schedule that allows them to work on the project without waiting for another day or another week or another month. I've also learned consistency. Consistency is important because when you lack it, you delay or you face delays in completing things. I feel like for the last 2 weeks while working on my BA, I've been consistent. I applied feedbacks on time, not because there was deadline to them, but because I had the spirit of being consistent. So I wouldn't spend more than 2 days without applying the feedback. And I feel like this program associates with my career aspirations because moving forward, I know how to prepare my speeches or my writings by first of all emphasizing originality and also having reliable resources of the information that I'm giving, but also by complying with the FCC. This is because there are some measurements that are needed or that are put in place when we're working on a story, and I feel like regardless of the freedom of speech that as comes people or comes professionals that we are given, there is always a limit to what we can expose or to how deep or further we can expose things. And also I feel like the BA program was so important because now I'm aware of how I can be financially responsible and also manage my finances. Thank you.